Hi everyone, so I'm GameVids here with a new video for you guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at the highlights from AMD's E3 presentation. They had a lot of important announcements about their Navi GPUs as well as some of the Ryzen CPUs. They launched a 16-core Ryzen CPU that's meant for gaming, which is insane. And their Navi GPU seems to be competing with the RTX 2070, but definitely wait till third-party reviewers before you start, pre-ordering these chips. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I think we're in for an exciting summer. Catch you guys in the next one.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome AMD President and CEO, Dr. Lisa Su.
Welcome, welcome. How are you guys all doing? All right, welcome to our next Horizon gaming event. AMD loves the PC platform. So look, for all of you who love PCs and love building your own gaming rigs and love the best of technology, today is for you. We're introducing today what I would call the ultimate gaming platform, and we're the only company in the world that can really bring you the best in both CPUs and GPUs. And it's frankly an incredibly exciting time for us as well as the industry because we're introducing the brand new 3rd gen Ryzen desktop processors. And the brand new Radeon RX 5700 series graphics cards. Woo! All right, let's go ahead and get started with Ryzen, please. – 15% instructions per clock uplift, double the cache size for lower memory latency for faster gaming, and double the floating point, which is really great for creative workloads. And if you think that we're really proud of the Zen 2 engine, when we bring this over to the product side, it's fantastic. Just take a look at this stack. So we are extremely excited about our 3rd generation Ryzen 7 and Ryzen 9 stack. And if you think about it, Ryzen 7 processors, 8 cores, 16 threads. We have the new flagship Ryzen 9 3900X, which is the first 12-core processor for mainstream gamers. And what you really see here is leadership across the board at every single price point. That was our goal. So let me just show you a little bit of the numbers, okay? Let's just start at the top of the stack and see how 3900X stacks up against the competition. All right, what we're comparing now is the 3900X against the competition's Core i9 9920X, which, by the way, is a $1,200 processor. And this is 12-core to 12-core comparison. And what you see is that the 3900X wins by 14% in single-threaded performance. We also win in multi-threaded performance, and all of this is at 105 watts. So think about it, more performance, less power, and by the way, it's less than half the price. Now, I know some of you have also been wondering, just how does the 3900X perform in games, right? So let me show you. Let me show you first some data. And here we compare the 3900X, again, now versus the 9900K, okay? And this is across some of the top AAA gaming titles. This is in 1080p, so that we can really stress the CPU. And what you just see is incredible performance for these titles. Very high frame rates, essentially maximum gaming performance, where the CPU's job is to get out of the way of the GPU. And is that great or what? Now look, numbers are nice, but gameplay is much better, isn't it? So let's actually see a real-world use case for the 3900X, not just for gaming. We're going to show you gaming, but we're going to show you what you can really do when you take the 3900X for a spin. And for that, let me invite Robert to the stage.
Hey, Lisa.
Robert, nice shoes.
Thank you, Radeon Red. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 1080p is a wonderful resolution, and lots of people choose it. But if you're a nerd like me, I have an ultra-wide 120 hertz monitor on my desk. 1440p is where I play. I hear some cheers down there. Right on, right on. All right, so 1440p is a big deal because we want to drive more pixels, drive higher frame rates. So let's take a look at Tom Clancy's Division 2, running at 1440p. Just hit World Tier 5 myself, gear score 503. If anybody else plays, hit me up, right? And what you see is a very comparable gaming experience. But what you really see is the Ryzen 9 3900X, this beautiful, monstrously powerful 12-core CPU, delivering an incredible gaming experience. 12-core gaming chip that's uncommonly powerful. But it's deeper than that. Gamers, like myself, they do more than just play these games. So what if we played this game and streamed it to YouTube at 10,000 kilobits using the slow OBS preset, which is just a quality preset that's so far above what most processors can do? What would that look like? Let's take a look at the stream view. This is what a viewer would see if we streamed this game on both of these processors. Yes, we did start the stream for the other guy, right? Right? That is the magic of a 12-core processor for gaming. You can do things that you couldn't do before. The other guy with 8 cores, sorry. All right, so let's take a look at the data. I want to show you by the numbers what you just saw. And both processors, same frame rates, but a real gaming experience from us and a smooth streaming experience for the viewer. That's how it should be.
Fantastic.
Thanks.
Thank you, Robert. And this time, we're comparing the 3800X against the 9700K across the same titles in 1080p. And what do you see? Again, you see just fantastic frame rates, well over 200 frames per second in most games at 1080p. And of course, you know that we have double the threads, and so the 3800X just outperforms and really shines in creative workloads. So that's the Ryzen 7 stack, my friends. But look, I said I have something for everyone. So now let's turn to the Ryzen 5 stack. And frankly, there are a lot of PC users who might have a budget of, let's call it $200 to $250. And the idea is to get the best processor you can get. And for that, the Ryzen 5 family is just a perfect fit. So these guys are 6 cores, 12 threads, Ryzen 5 3600 and 3600X. They have all the benefits of the new tech. So you got the Zen 2 core, you got the new infrastructure, and again, let me show you how these guys game, because they really game very, very well. Take a look versus the competition. This time it's versus the 9600K, and when you look, again, across all of these gaming metrics, the performance is frankly spectacular. It still has double the threads for creative applications, so you can do a lot with this guy. But as I said, we're all about showing you our products in action. So let's bring Robert back and let us show you Ryzen 5 for the first time. Robert?
All right. Yeah. Okay. I love talking about 12-core processors. I'm going to get a 12-core processor. But it's also true that most customers buy a $250 CPU. That's what people can afford. And so our job is to give you the best freaking processor you can get for $250. So I want to show you 1440p again, running CSGO. This is a very CPU-sensitive title that requires hundreds of frames per second. And we're going to show you side by side our $250 CPU with 6 cores and 12 threads versus theirs. And again, you see a very comparable gaming experience, upwards of 300 frames a second. And any CSGO player will tell you that every frame counts, because if you're trying to 360 no-scope someone, every frame matters. So for $250, 6 cores, 12 threads, you're getting an amazing gaming experience for a really nice price. And that, again, for any customer, is how it should be.
Fantastic.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Robert. Are you guys excited about Navi? All right. So look, Navi is now called our affectionate Radeon 5700 series. And this GPU is designed brand new from the grounds up for gaming. And like we did with the CPU side with Zen, it was really, our vision to take a fresh look at the GPU architecture. The RX 5700 really starts with our brand new Radeon DNA, or RDNA architecture. And this architecture was, again, designed from the grounds up, completely for gaming. And you might ask, what did we focus on? We focused on architecture, we focused on design improvements, we focused on delivering more gaming performance with faster clock speeds and more performance per clock. And all of this at lower power. Also with PCI Gen 4 as the world's first gaming GPU. So let me share some of the motivation of our engineers around RDNA. Look, we've had incredible success with the GCN architecture around Vega. And do you guys love Vega? Yeah. And it's done really, really well in the market. But frankly, we thought it was time to build a brand new architecture for gaming like we did on the CPU side. And our thought process was really, for the future of gaming, we need a flexible and scalable architecture to go across every gaming platform. And that means we have all new stuff. We have a new compute unit design, we have new caches, we have a streamlined graphics pipeline. But what that means to you from a gaming standpoint is that we are seeing a 25% increase in graphics performance per clock cycle and a 50% increase in performance per watt with RDNA. So are you excited about RDNA? Yeah. Now, we love architectures, but we love products even more. So it's really exciting when you see the product in action. Let's take a look. All right, E3, meet the Radeon RX 5700 XT. Is that gorgeous or what? All right, look, we are so proud of the 5700 XT, and all of you are going to fall in love with it as well when you hear all about the incredible engineering, both inside and out, on the GPU. Now, what can I tell you? The 5700 XT is delivering leadership performance in its class. So there's so much for us to tell you. Let me invite Scott Herkelman, our head of the Radeon gaming business, to come take it away. Scott?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Thank you. All right. Hello, Los Angeles. Hello, gamers. Hello, welcome to E3. I'm so excited for you to all be here. We have been working on this GPU for quite a long time, and it is a pleasure to finally unveil it to you. I've been reading all the Reddit, Twitter threads. I watch all the streamers who talk about GPUs all the time, and there's always these rumors, but it's more fun to just show you the product itself. So let's go ahead and get started on the specs. 40 compute units, up to 9.75 teraflops, 8 gigabytes of GDDR6, a boost clock of 1905, and a game clock of 1755. Now, game clock is a new terminology, and that's what you're going to average see in a game on our game clock when you're playing most games. So it's a new one for you, and we'll talk to you a little bit more about that after the show. And then a 1605 base clock. But that's not, we didn't just stop there. Of course, it all includes the new RDNA architecture. Of course, it's on the 7-nanometer process. And of course, is the first GPU, gaming GPU in the world to support PCI Express 4.0. So now let's take a look a little bit under the hood. We've spent a lot of time and effort to redesign our thermal shroud for you. And the redesign of that application was for a few reasons. We want it to be cool and quiet. We also want to give you the ability to overclock this GPU to its full potential. So this includes a power supply support connectors of a 1x8 pin and then a 1x6 pin for your power supplies. And then my favorite part of the thermal shroud, besides the design, is the 7-phase digital power system, ready for most of you like me who are really looking forward to overclocking this GPU to its full potential. What do you think about that? Now, that's all great, but I know every gamer in here and every gamer on the stream watching was like, yeah, but show me the performance. Fine, I will. Let's do it. Okay, let's go ahead and start the demo. This next demo is a game called World War Z. It's one of my favorite games that just came out in April. And if you haven't played this game, over 2 million gamers bought and played this game across the world. Fantastic amount of people for Saber Interactive to get into the game. Thousands of zombies run at you. You can stand behind a Gatling gun and mow them down. So if you haven't played it, you should definitely try it. Around the, what you can see here on the right is the 5700 XT running in 1440p against the RTX 2070, the same product in its class. And an amazing result, 117 frames per second versus our competitors' 102 frames per second. What do you think about that? Now, just in order of transparency, this is best. So a lot of you know that gamers sometimes play on DirectX 11, sometimes gamers play with DirectX 12 enabled, sometimes gamers play with Vulkan. We've just taken the best score from each of the GPU manufacturers and we said, put the best versus the best. So that way there's no trickery, and you can see that in its class, in the $499 class, the RX 5700 XT beats the competition and beats it consistently. Now, for our second announcement today is a brand new product called the Radeon RX 5700. It's got 36 compute units, up to 7.9 teraflops, also 8 gigabytes of GDDR6, a boost clock up to 1725, and a game clock of 1625. And now what you'll want to see next is where will this one be positioned? How does it compete against our competitor in a popular game? In this space, we know a lot of you play esports. So what I would like to show you next, and let's go ahead and roll the demo, is the Radeon RX 5700 against the nearest competitor, the GeForce RTX 2060. This is actually Apex Legends, playing it at 1440p. And one of the most heaviest things you can do in Apex Legends is throw thermite grenades. And that's probably one of somebody's friends just really taking a whole bunch of thermite grenades right at their feet and burning them. But the ending result of the 5700 against the 2060 is 88 frames per second versus 72 in esports. What do you think? Very good. So now let's take a look at the data. Again, fast, no matter the API. Their fastest versus our fastest, nothing to see here, but what you can, nothing trickery to see here for the gamers watching on the stream or in the audience. But what you can see here is that up to 10% faster than the RTX 2060 in the top 10 games that have launched in the last year. Truly leading performance in its class. Now, gaming performance is amazing, and I had to get that in front of you quickly because I wanted to get you excited about how much we put in just in terms of raw performance. All that comes from our new gaming architecture. All of that is a standard with our new RDNA architectures and all the features that we put into the process of making the chip. And of course, there's some other things I'd like to talk to you about, like game fidelity and gaming dynamics, some new features and feature sets that over the next few months, as you start to see this product in market, you'll see this adopted by our game developers that we'll have on stage in a little bit to talk to you about. So let's go ahead and dive into the Navi GPU family features. So RDNA, Lisa mentioned this a little bit ago, is our brand new grounds-up architecture built for the Navi GPU family, and the first products in that family are the 5700 series. Comes standard on the 7-nanometer process, support for GDDR6, and again, first in the family of GPUs for gaming to support PCI Express 4.0. And then we also have two new features that we're launching with the Navi family, which is the Radeon Media Engine for 4K encode, 4K decode, and also FreeSync HDR support, and then the Radeon Display Engine. So that will support DisplayPort 1.4 with display stream compression, as well as a whole bunch of other features and cabling systems. So that way, as you look towards buying new monitors, you can use the Navi family of GPUs to get the best refresh rates, the highest resolutions, and of course, increased bandwidth to any virtual reality headset. So that's the Navi GPU family features. So, like many of you in here, you know that AAA gaming is the golden standard of any GPU. You care about high fidelity. How does the game look and feel when you're in there? High resolution. Can I play this at 1440p? Can I play it at 4K? And of course, all of those things combined with a fluid 60 frames per second gaming ultimately matters to how you actually feel in that game. So let's talk about one of the first new features that we're going to introduce today here at E3. So the very first feature is Fidelity Fx. It is our game developer toolkit that we provide on GPU Open. It's a website that we manage and run. So that way game developers, a lot of them here at E3, can go to this website and download Fidelity Fx and use all of the post-processing effects that make AAA games look great in game, and they can start integrating that into not only their engines, but also the games that they're building. So we are announcing that today. We're here with all the fantastic game developers, and we even have a few on the stage coming up in a little bit that'll talk to you more about this. But I wanted to do a quick thing first. You'll want to hear more from them about it, but let me just show you what some of these effects look like on screen. So as you can see here, this is a racing game, and we have Fidelity Fx off and on, and it's just a subtle way to show you that if you've ever played a lot of driving games, you do know and you want to see that street below you. Where are you out in the corner? How far are you away from the corner? How fast do you feel like you're moving? And so the Fidelity Fx provides that little bit of extra detail in low contrast areas where normally it might seem a little blurry. We add that little crispness and sharpness so you feel like you're more connected in the game, and it's a very easy thing for us to do with this new RDNA architecture because we have more performance for the game, and we're able to not only increase the sharpness, but also implement it while keeping your frames per second high. So this is a before and after of Fidelity Fx off and on. Now let me show you a game that I'm sure a lot of you are anticipating, like I am, at the back half of this year, Borderlands 3. So Fidelity Fx will also be integrated into Borderlands 3. And what we're showing here is a little bit before and after. So you can see in that yellow box, if you can't see it right now, there's actually little hexagons in there, and honeycombs, if you will. And if you turn Fidelity Fx on, you'll see that it becomes a little sharper for you. And that's just going to add a next level of detail in the game, virtually for no performance hit at all. It's something that as game developers adopt this inside their game, it's just going to add that really nice touch for your gameplay. So let's take a look at it side by side. It pops off on the screen a little bit more for you. And we're super excited about this technology. We have a lot of game developers signed up to not only implement this, but they agree with us. The agreement is you shouldn't launch a new feature in a game that hurts a gamer's performance and then do trickery to increase the resolution and make it blurry. Our commitment to you is always launch features with less of a performance hit and everyone can enjoy day one. What do you think about that? Now, if there's a game that doesn't or has yet to adopt Fidelity Fx, we have a solution for you as well. It's called AMD Radeon Image Sharpening. Superior quality, no performance hit. This will be available the day the product is available in the market through our Radeon Software Adrenaline Edition. You can download it and enable it. It's going to give you pretty much the similar feature sets that Fidelity Fx will, and you'll see that same sort of nice crispness in games. And as I mentioned, we have data for you. Our promise and commitment to you is that when we introduce new features that increase the quality of your in-game play, virtually no performance hit versus our competition. What do you think about that? Very good. Now, esports. A lot of you in here are probably like me. You play AAA games, but you also play esports games. We care about responsiveness. How fast between you and what you're seeing on screen can your character move and respond? Frames per second matters. You also care about streaming from your GPU to either YouTube or Twitch. Let your friends or fans watch what you're doing. And then, of course, a fluid 90 frames per second of gameplay or more. We have a new feature and many new features in our software package that we're rolling out. But today, I would like to zero in on one that I think every Radeon gamer is going to enjoy right away. And this is called Radeon Anti-Lag. Let me talk to you about this feature. So if you love esports and you love beating your friends at esports, you now will have a chance to beat the GeForce GPU owners at esports. So let me talk to you about that. This is essentially a new feature. As we all know, lag to a server when you're playing an esports game is one of the most frustrating things. And so we took a look at that and said, how can we improve the lag between the GPU and the monitor? And one way to do that is to take a look at how we deliver the software from the GPU to the monitor and see if we can mitigate some of that lag. This is the feature to do that for you. And what I'd like to do is bring Robert back up on the stage, explain a little bit about the demo and the feature and why esports gamers are going to love it. Robert?
Scott, how you doing?
Good.
Good. Okay. So gamers all the time, they talk about getting higher frames per second because that reduces input lag, or the time between clicking a mouse or pressing a button and that showing up on the screen. There's a name for that. It's called motion to photon latency. Click a button, straight into your eyeballs. At 60 frames a second, that's about 4 frames worth of lag. 4 frames, that's a lot. So let's show two systems with the Radeon RX 5700 XT versus the RTX 2070, both running at around 60 frames a second. And in green, you can see that motion to photon latency. It's about 57 milliseconds from the time you press the button on your mouse or your keyboard to the time it comes out of the monitor into your eyes. Driving frame rates higher, that brings that number down. But what if there were a way to decouple the frame rate from the input lag? You could make that input lag lower even at the same frame rate. So what we're going to do is we're going to enable Radeon Anti-Lag, and you'll see that on the RX 5700 XT. You're going to drop to about 44 milliseconds of input lag, which is a full frame and a half of improvement over what you would have without this feature. So if you're looking for that competitive advantage in Dota, League, CSGO, where every frame matters, this technology can do it for you.
Very good. Thanks, Robert. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot. I highly suggest when you buy a 5700, you just turn it on, you don't tell your friends, and see what they say. So let me just show you some data, before and after. So these are across the most popular esports games using our brand new RX 5700 XT, both on and off. And you can see on average, you save about 31% of latency and the click-to-response on the screen, which is fantastic. And in the very popular game Fortnite, it can be up to 35%. So if you want an advantage against your friends who have Radeon GPUs or the competition, just don't tell them you turned it on, and then watch yourself climb to the top of the leaderboard. Okay, so the real reason why all of you are watching here is how much is this going to cost you? I think that's the question, right? Yeah. Good. Okay. Leadership performance in its class in the $499 segment. The Radeon RX 5700 XT will be available for $449. Leadership performance in the $399 segment. The Radeon RX 5700 will be available for $379. I am super excited about this. I'm super excited to bring you the best performance per dollar in the industry and without hurting your frame rates with new features and technology. I think that's what you deserve, and I'm so happy to bring it to you finally. And very soon, which is July 7th, which is my other announcement. So, lining up our complete ecosystem at AMD for all gamers, brand new CPUs, brand new GPUs, you, in the back half of this year, can play all of your games with all of your settings turned up and enjoy a fantastic experience from AMD and the AMD group that is in charge of gaming. So I'm super excited about this. But there is one more thing you're going to get from us. And that next thing is we have a fantastic partnership with Microsoft. As you saw yesterday in the announcement they made yesterday, but we're also announcing today that when you buy a 5700 series GPU, you will be able to play Gears 5 and 100 other PC games, and you can also get that same bundle with select Ryzen CPUs. What do you think? Does that sound great?
I hope what you see is that you can really accomplish amazing things when you put the best minds in hardware and the best minds in software and the best minds in the ecosystem working together. So today was really about bringing all of those capabilities together and pushing the envelope in high-performance gaming. Now, you know we covered a lot of ground, but you know I always like to save a surprise, or two, maybe. Are you ready for a surprise or two? Okay. Well, hey, look, are you guys excited about the 5700 XT and the 5700? Are those great GPUs? And guess what? I have one more GPU for you today. All right, my friends. This is a very special GPU, and it's in honor of our 50th anniversary this year. This is the 50th anniversary edition Radeon 5700 XT. Now, is this incredibly gorgeous? Yeah. Okay, now I know it looks pretty, but you also want to know what the specs of this card are, don't you? Yeah. And this card is the best of the best. The highest performer of the 5700 series at 40 compute engines and a boost clock of 1.98 gigahertz. Now, we are super excited about this special edition, and it's going to be available exclusively on AMD.com at a price of $499. Okay, guys, but you know, I have two kids, right? We have our GPUs and our CPUs. So if we had an extra GPU, we have to be fair, right? And we also have to have an extra CPU. So, I know you guys have all been wondering what is the best of Ryzen. So earlier, you saw the 3900X, and was that just an amazing CPU? And now I'm happy to say yes. AMD is not only pushing gaming beyond 8 cores. We are not only pushing gaming to 12 cores, but I am so proud to introduce today, for the very, very first time here at E3, meet the world's first 16-core gaming processor. This is the 3950X, okay? This is the best of the best. It's 16 cores, 32 threads, the highest boost frequency in our stack with a boost up to 4.7 gigahertz. An amazing 72 megabytes of total cache. All of this at 105 watts. Incredible performance, incredible power, the best of the best. And you can expect to see Ryzen 9 3950X for gamers around the world this September for $749. So, look, we love to have fun at AMD, so we took this guy for a spin over the weekend here at E3. Take a look at some records being broken.
Today we're going to be trying to break several world records with the new Ryzen 3rd generation 3950X. We're going to be using liquid nitrogen, cooling the part way down, and see what we can do.
So we just dropped the temperature down. We're going to try to modulate it here in a certain range. We've set the BIOS for the CPU voltage, and we're going to do everything else in Ryzen Master. So we're going to set 5.3. I think Ahmed already clicked the button.
Yep.
Okay, so...
We're at the right frequency.
Okay, go.
All right. It's running.
Was that great or what? All right, look, we have had so much fun this afternoon, but now I really do need to wrap up. So I hope you get a feeling of how excited we are. We are so proud of our upcoming Ryzen 3000 CPUs and Radeon 5700 GPUs. You know, together, they are just an amazing platform for gamers. And what I said is we want to put the best technology in every gamer's hands. And so when you put these products together, we have a leadership PC platform for every one of you out there. Leadership at every price point. That's our commitment, giving gamers the best everywhere. And we can't wait to get these products in your hands. The entire lineup will be available on shelf worldwide July 7th. We hope you have a phenomenal summer building and gaming on Ryzen and Radeon. Thank you.